Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thanks to all our witnesses for your time being with us here today. We're here today talking about trade enforcement, but we really should also be talking about Constitution enforcement. President Trump is abusing executive power, including by attempting to impose the largest tax increase in a generation on the American people through tariffs without a vote in Congress. He is ignoring Congress and the Ways and Means Committee, and it appears my Republican colleagues are just standing by. The American people are depending on Congress to stand up. Tariffs and trade are hugely impactful to industries and households in every district across the country. Trade can bring down prices for families and create local good-paying jobs by opening new markets to sell our goods overseas. But the sweeping, broad-based tariffs that President Trump is proposing will hurt our economy by raising the cost of living for the average household by thousands of dollars a year. Trump's plan to impose tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China with emergency powers will increase costs for American households by over $1,200 per year. And his reciprocal tariff plan will cost households an additional $2,700 to $3,400 per year. Low and middle income earners, including farmers, will be the hardest hit, and that's a fact. According to USDA, and I know the chairman talks about this regularly, Nebraska's 3rd congressional district, which Chairman Smith represents, has over 60,000 farmers, more than any other district in the country. Congresswoman Fishbach's Minnesota district has the 2nd most farmers with over 50,000. Congressman Fenstra's Iowa district has the 3rd most farmers. But what is being done to protect farmers? Are we not concerned about the massive retaliation against our farmers that a trade war brings? It always impacts agriculture. My colleagues, my Republican colleagues in particular, are going to allow President Trump to raise taxes on the American people without a say. That should be the job of this committee. The Constitution is very clear about this. Congress, not the president, has the power to impose taxes and tariffs and to regulate foreign commerce. That is one of the basic functions of the Ways and Means Committee. And my Republican colleagues used to agree with this back when there was a Democrat in the White House. In 2023, Chairman Jason Smith said that President Biden's trade initiatives sidestep Congress, and that the Biden administration, quote, unfortunately has refused to recognize that the Constitution requires Congress be at the center of US trade policy, end quote. He further stated, in order to succeed, the administration must recognize that Congress is in the driver's seat in setting priorities and deciding whether to approve any trade agreements. Yet, if the president's 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico go through, the president would be, in effect, withdrawing the United States from the bipartisan USMCA trade agreement that Congress overwhelmingly approved of. In a 2022 op-ed, Trade Subcommittee Chairman Adrian Smith said, quote, a successful trade agenda will require close cooperation with Congress every step of the way. This coordination is not optional, end quote. Yet there has been absolutely zero coordination with Congress on trade under the Trump administration. President Trump has already drastically abused the law when he announced tariffs under emergency powers and clearly violated the statute by not, as the law requires, consulting with Congress before exercising any emergency powers. Over the past few years, I have sent letters with Congressman LaHood denouncing then Trade Ambassador Tai's digital trade overreach. I signed on to a letter led by Congressman Ferguson criticizing Treasury for changing taxes on people's health plans without going through Congress, and joined my Republican colleagues in calling out President Biden for signing a trade deal with Japan on critical minerals without congressional approval. President Trump's tariff proposals dwarf Biden's in terms of the potential economic impacts. Where is the outrage now? Last year, when President Biden signed a trade deal with Taiwan, we worked together as a committee to ratify that agreement. And when the bill passed, Chairman Jason Smith stated, what's particularly encouraging about this legislation is that it represents a bipartisan effort to reassert Congress's constitutional authority. I hope that Republicans still have an interest in reasserting Congress's authority. If so, I'd welcome the chance to work together. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back.